It's over. The whole Andy Obregon issue is over as far as catching him. We couldn't be any more excited. As we heard the words come across the radio, we were waiting for confirmation that it was Andy Obregon, and one of our deputies got on and said, he's in custody, and it's Andy Obregon. About 2:51 this afternoon, we got a 911 call from a woman. She advised that her car had been stolen, and she also reported that she was battered. Well, we found out that the citizen went to her father's house. The house appeared to be abandoned, and the daughter went to the house to check on it. When she went into the house, she found the person that she'd been seeing on TV, Andy Obregon. Talked to him for a little while, from what my understanding is, and he proceeded to batter her to the level that I believe she's being taken by Flight for Life up to the hospital in Milwaukee, up to Freighter. He took her silver Chevy Spark and took off, going over to the family house over on JB at EW. He then took off from that location. And I can only guess at this point that he took off southbound on 83, traveled down into Illinois. At the point that she dialed 911, we immediately started putting out the notification to area law enforcement. And actually, for those in the media, as we got this word, you've been so wonderful to us as far as getting the word out of what he's been driving. I started emailing the media to let you know that he was in a stolen Chevy Spark vehicle. And I wanted you guys to help get that information out. I want to thank all the media for your cooperation, for your diligence in helping us really to put resolve to this entire issue. In Illinois, about 3:34, the stolen vehicle was located down by Lake County Sheriff's officers near Green Bay Road and 21st Street in Zion. High-speed pursuit started from there. It continued north on Green Bay Road into Winthrop Harbor. About the area of West Broadway and 9th Street in Winthrop Harbor, the chase turned into a foot pursuit. Officers continued in the pursuit. In approximately 3:54 in the afternoon, Illinois officers apprehended the white male. For those in Kenosha area, this would have been about near Lewis or 39th Avenue, just south of the Illinois state line. So again, Andrew Obregon was heading back into Kenosha, and my guess his goal was to head back to the area that his family was. We heard, while we were listening to the radio, we heard shots were fired. And we were just waiting to get more information. A short while later, we heard that all officers were fine, everyone involved. We had our deputies on scene, Illinois authorities had a canine out there. We also had our canine out there shortly after theirs did, as Andy Obregon was taken into custody. We heard deputies came back, and you could tell it was like Christmas as far as they were concerned, because these deputies were at the scene where Andrew Obregon was caught, and they said that he was coherent enough he knew the names of our deputies. He looked up and said their names, and I don't know how else to describe it, but the joy of, even in this building, that he was finally caught, that this ride was over. Living in the Brighton area where Andy Obregon is from, where he circled around, I know that the schools were on soft close downs. I know that the kids were held in from recess. The special events that the schools were holding were canceled. For all the kids in the schools out in the area that Andy Obregon basically terrorized for the last few weeks, it can go back to where it was. It can go back to where the kids feel safe in their playgrounds, in their school. The parents can feel safe in the community, their homes. They can still lock them, keep their keys out of the cars, but it's going to go back now to the way it was a few short weeks ago in the rural area in western Kenosha County. And I've already had several phone calls and texts from people that I know that are glad it's over. I also had messages from people in the Obregon family, and they wanted to thank law enforcement for helping to put this to rest. Members of the Obregon family have told me that they feel very sorry for the community. They apologize for what Andy did to the community and how it affected everyone, and they hurt too. So, I'm trying to think what else. Many people have been involved in this chase. Not the one today, but in the chase that's been going on for us about 3 weeks. And we've got officers, deputies, detectives that have slept very little the last 3 weeks. Tonight, after they get the reports completed, this will be the first night that they can actually go to bed and start working on the homicide portion of this. And that is a huge undertaking all by itself. I want to thank, I want to thank Illinois authorities, and I know there are several agencies down in Illinois that helped finish this off. Pleasant Prairie was on standby, and my guess is they were probably on scene too. The Kenosha Police Department put gang detectives into this investigation from the very beginning. The Racine Sheriff's Department worked arm in arm with us as we tried to do this because Andy Obregon was terrorizing the county of Racine as much as he was terrorizing the county of Kenosha. There were literally hundreds of officers from beginning to end that helped to put an end to this, conclusion to this. And I want to thank all of them. Truthfully, the parts I played in this was very small compared to everyone else that played major roles in bringing Andy Obregon, getting him into custody. He has one injury from what I've been told, and this is unconfirmed through the investigating team that's down there from Illinois. But one of our deputies who was on scene says that Andrew Obregon has a wound to one of his arms. He believes, and again, this is unofficial at this time, but he believes it's a gunshot wound. Officers, when they arrived, we did hear on the scene that there were gunshots, and at least one of our deputies believes that Andrew Obregon has a gunshot wound to one of his arms. I don't remember which one. He was taken into custody, transported to a local hospital in Lake County, and what I've been told is he's already on his way to the Lake County Jail, to the Sheriff's Department, to be held there. We had members of our detective unit assist in the escort to make sure that nothing happened to him between the scene, the hospital, and also the jail, his final resting place here until we can get him extradited back up here to Kenosha. That's all I can think of right now. Any questions?
In the 3 weeks that Sheriff Beth has been looking for Andrew Obregon, he's told us a lot about him, including that he has been in trouble with the law for most of his life. One thing really makes that clear. When he was taken into custody, he knew the names of the deputies who were putting the handcuffs on him. That shows you just how much trouble he was in with the law over the course of his life.
That says it all, really. And also the sheriff pointed out that the woman who he stole the car from was significantly battered, taken by Flight for Life to Frederick Hospital. So we will continue to look for updates on her condition, and hopefully she will be okay. And we also know that Andrew Obregon did sustain a gunshot wound to the arm, but apparently he was able to talk and is okay.